Hiya, good evening. I tell you what, today it's been really, really, really busy. I've been watching the football, and all of a sudden, then I had to come on here. I think I got around about like 40 ETAs, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I'll be like all over this in a minute. You know what I mean? Anyway, hello. So, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, good. How you been coping with the virus and everything?
Oh, what can you do, Steve, mate? You just plod on. It's tough, but all my family and friends are all safe and healthy, and that's the most important thing. You can work with the rest.
Yeah, good, good. I watches you. I kind of like watches you when you do all your Facebook lives and everything, and you
Yeah.
get a lot of following, and I'm glad because people like you are kind of like making everybody like happy, and and we can all sing along, in our front rooms and everything. You did a really good job. You must feel like you must feel happy about it all.
It is good. I mean, it's strange because I do a lot of shows now on the various different pages, but before pre-COVID, I didn't like streaming live stuff. I had very rarely done it. I had streamed a song or two, here or there from an actual proper live gig, but I certainly had done no kind of dedicated live streaming. So that was a big shift for me. But you do see, the kind of in the comments that people post up. The satisfaction and the pleasure that it does bring people who might be housebound or can't get out as much or just like music. So it is a good feeling, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I can't go out a lot, and only time I go out is go on my scooter and go around. But I just sometimes it's really good because you just come on, all these ETAs come on and everything, and they
Hmm.
think, and it's really good because I can just sit there and watch them. They do a really good job. Happy about it and everything. You must feel that. You must really, you must feel like you're doing something you're doing something that is helping other people.
Yeah, it's something that we can do, I suppose, when a lot of people are feeling, there's a lot of things out with our control at the moment. We can't control the virus, we can't control how long we're all going to be stuck indoors or with various different restrictions. So it's nice to be able to do something that we know for a fact, because we can tell, like you say, from the feedback that we get from people like yourselves who can't get out as much, like just like you say, that they can turn on their phone or turn on their
Mm.
tablet, and there's always something there to watch. So it's a nice thing to be able to do, yeah.
Yeah. How about do you ever get any negativity on there on your Facebook?
Oh, of course you do, mate. The page has got the main ETA page that I sing most of the time has got 33,000 followers. So by law of averages, I'm not arrogant enough to think that I'm everybody's cup of tea. You're always going to get the odd one or two, but it's how you respond to them and how much time you give them. You do. I've been in the entertainment business now for nigh on 20 years, so you learn to deal with a little bit of negativity. It's part and parcel, mate. You get a bit of a thick skin and you carry on. That's it.
Why Elvis?
Why Elvis?
Yeah.
Because well, I mean, I've got a great deal of kind of musical influences across the board, but for me, Elvis was the kind of archetypal, the complete package when it came to an entertainer. The guy could tell a story, he could sing a song, he could move well, he was uh, self depreciating. He didn't take himself too seriously, which is a big thing for entertainers. And the thing that people forget as well is in terms of being a global megastar, he did it first. He was the kind of prototype for the kind of the globally famous pop star or rock star that would follow in years to come. So he's not the only one, but he's always been my favorite.
Mm. And what else? Who else do you like? Because you like
Ah,
Tom Jones and everything, don't you? And
I like Tom Jones. I like Elton John. I love Bruce Springsteen. The list goes on. It's really difficult. Like I say, it's not just Elvis, and that's the end of it. Some of the pages are specifically dedicated to Elvis. So when I'm on there, that's what I sing. But I like Elton John. As I say, I like Bruce Springsteen. I love country music. My mum and dad brought me up listening to old school country music. So Roger Miller, Charlie Pride, Keith Whitley, all these guys. I could talk all day about
mm,
the type of musical influences that you have.
mm. Have you? I noticed we got a coronavirus going on at the moment in the UK.
Sure.
But do you? with your concerts or wherever you play in the pubs and clubs and everything, are you must be struggling at the moment then, aren't you? Like every other ETA.
I haven't done a live show since March, mate, a proper one. So that's a long time for somebody like me. I would just to be clear, when I do live shows at home and on the cabaret circuit up here in Scotland where I live, I'm not an ETA. I do a mixed cabaret show. I maybe put a bit of Elvis into the sets, but it's a big, massive mixture of 60s, 80s stuff that I do. It's a huge mix. So yeah, it's tough. You work. We do maybe certainly somewhere between 100 and 200 shows a year normally, pre-COVID. So to go from that to nothing, and unfortunately, without wanting to get too political, with the situation the way it is just now, not looking like it's coming back anytime soon, it's a big adjustment. I used to travel every weekend to the Central Belt in Scotland, which is obviously quite badly affected by COVID just now. I would get maybe over the course of the weekend, I would be on 5 or 6 trains over the course of the weekend to get down and back up. I haven't been on a train since March, so it's a big adjustment. I've gone from traveling all the time to hardly traveling at all in a bid to keep everybody safe and myself.
And I bet it's kind of like very difficult with the family at the moment as well, isn't it? It's like, you're at home and there's no, you're relying on money coming in. Is that tough?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're quite fortunate in that my wife works as well and has worked from home, throughout the whole pandemic as well. So we're in a more fortunate position than a lot of people. It's an adjustment to be at home every weekend, having gone from usually being away every weekend, but that's a positive thing. I always like to try and bring the positive from anything, even something as horrendous as COVID. And the big one for me has been more time with the family. Normally I would be away every weekend, and I'm not now. I've been at home pretty much non-stop for the last 7 months, so it's extra time with the kids and with my wife, which is brilliant. Obviously, I wish it was under happier circumstances, but in and of itself, mate, it's a good thing.
What does your wife think about you singing then?
What does she think about me singing? She's very supportive. She's been very supportive from day one. She's my harshest critic. If I want a proper critical analysis of something done, like I'm recording a CD at the moment, so I know that if I send recordings to my friends, I'll get the positives. I know if I want a proper opinion, ask the wife, and if it's no good, she'll tell me it's no good.
I was going to touch on that. Tell us about your CD, what you're making, what you're doing.
So I just thought, like, again, because I was for a bit of context, Steve, if I can, I've been an Elvis fan since I was about 11 years old, and I used to listen to nothing but. And then kind of my musical horizons broadened a little bit, and I went years and years and didn't listen to Elvis. And since the start of lockdown, through various different mediums and things like that, I've gotten back involved with listening to his music. I found the page that you saw me on. My daughter now asks to watch Elvis on YouTube. So really, initially just as a way to keep myself busy, because again, we're not singing much apart from these shows. I thought I would try and record a CD, with the help of a friend of mine who, that maybe we could put some tracks together, some Elvis covers together, and see what happened with it. So we've done 13 tracks. I've got one more to do. That'll hopefully get finished this weekend, and then we're going to do some artwork, and hopefully it'll be ready to go out in a couple of weeks. We're calling it Remembering Elvis because I had to think about it, and at the end of the day, that's what we do on these pages: is everybody gets together and celebrates the music and the memories of Elvis. So that's why I put it together. Initially, it was just something to keep me busy, and it's kind of growing arms and legs.
So let's go back a bit.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you went into music then?
Oh man, well I sang. I've been singing kind of on and off since I was 5. I sang when I can remember, doing the kind of typical standing up for relatives, aunties and uncles and grannies and granddads in the living room and singing when I was 5, 6 years old. I sang right through primary school, and then when I started high school and when my voice broke, I lost all control of it and I couldn't sing. So I went from singing all the time to not being able to sing, and that was really frustrating. So I stopped, and I promise you, Steve, I didn't sing a note from the ages of 13 until I was about 17, 18 years old, when one night I walked into a karaoke in my local and was cajoled into singing an Elvis song. Again, Elvis is always there. and that was kind of how I got back into it. And from there, it just kind of snowballed, and now or I have been up till COVID, fortunate enough to make my living from it.
Yeah, what was you doing before you became a singer then?
What did I do before I became a singer? I did part of a politics degree at Glasgow Uni, which I didn't finish for family reasons. I came home to Fife, where I was living at the time. I did all kinds of jobs. I worked in call centres. I was quite heavily involved in disability sports coaching when I was younger and competing, so I've done a lot of that. I've done the 9 to 5 stuff. I've worked in supermarkets. You've got to be able to do that, and God knows I might have to do it again, depending on what happens, going into next year. But I've done other jobs as well. I did the kind of worked in a call center to get myself through university and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, when you kind of like on your Facebook lives, you're really singing out with your heart. There's a lot of people go on there thinking, oh, well, I'll just go on there, it's something to do. But when you sing, it's always like, you really mean what you're singing. You know what I mean?
So that's really kind, Steve. Thank you very much. I don't know. I think that, again, I was really uncomfortable. If you go back and watch the early shows that I did on pages, and I'm talking about going back, probably 5-6 months now to when I did my first shows. I think watching them back, I think I looked really uncomfortable. I think I looked tense. And gradually you get to grips with what you're doing. And I mean, a live, nothing will ever as an entertainer, nothing will ever replace a proper live crowd. But you'll have heard me say it every time I'm on. The guys that I'm performing for now on the Facebook Lives, they're the closest thing we've got as entertainers just now to live crowds. So you try and give them everything. We're realistic about it, and what you see with me is what you get. I'm not in a, some guys are fortunate enough to have a studio at their disposal, and thousands and thousands of pounds worth of gear around about them. I don't have that. I'm in my living room. Often I'm in my living room. Often my little baby girl is 3 feet to my side singing along. You can hear my wife coming in with cups of tea and things. It's a proper snapshot of what it's like in my home just now that you get. So that's, I'm quite genuine. The way I speak on camera it's pretty much me. But I appreciate that because it's sometimes quite hard to put the emotion across on on camera. You don't always get that. So if it's happening, that's a good thing. I'm glad.
Yeah, of course it is, because when you're on camera and when you're doing your lives, you really care about it. It's down to the detail as well with the music you're picking as well. It's not like off the cuff. It's like you really care what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, when I work with my shows, I've seen you on a few times, so I know when you're there, bud, and you'll see that with a lot of the time, I try to let the viewers pick as many of the songs as I can, and that has its good points and its bad points. The good points is that they're definitely hearing things that they want to hear. The kind of not so good points for me is that sometimes it makes it quite hard to build up a rhythm, so sometimes I have to pick 2 or 3 myself to set the kind of the type of pace that you want. But yeah, we try and sing, you can never lose sight of the fact that these pages were set up to entertain people who are stuck inside during lockdown. So the most important thing to me is that people are hearing what they want to hear and enjoying what they hear.
And well done for that. Hang on for a second, what we got here? Right, we've got Kelly. That is cool. So being able to do more things is good. So that's that for that. That's good. Your daughter is good, so
my daughter is very good. Thank you, Haley. My daughter, she took up listening to Elvis since lockdown, and she loves to sing. So she's at me constantly to sing, and sometimes she gets more requests than I do, which is good. I think she's a little star in the making.
Yeah, Kelly's saying here that we're all uncomfortable online. It's a learning experience. It is, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. You'll have been the same as well from the start of the show. You're not always, people think when you're an entertainer that you're always an extrovert and you're always confident and everything else, and there is a bit of that. But I've never been particularly comfortable on camera. But I suppose again, if we look at taking the positives, this last 6 months of having to do some of it every week has made me a lot more comfortable on camera than I was before. Because again, if I want to work and I want to perform, it's the only option that I've got just now.
What's your favourite Elvis song then?
Oh God, how do you pick one? I think I have phases of different songs. I like a lot of the more obscure ones. Everybody likes the, there's Elvis songs that everybody knows. It's the Suspicious Minds and the Wonder of You and all
Yeah.
that. I like a lot of the lesser known ones. So my favorite one to sing at the moment is a country-based song called "Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues." But I love the spectacular sound of the American trilogy with all the horns
Brilliant.
and
Yeah,
the drums
brilliant.
and
Yeah.
stuff at the end. I love that, and I love the cover version that he did. A lot of his songs were cover versions, but I love the cover version that he did of "Bridge Over Troubled Water." Again,
Mm.
because of the big orchestral sound at the end. So those are the two or three favourites. But it's not fair asking me just to pick one.
All right. Okay. Then. How about how about a favorite Elvis film then?
Do you know what? I'll get shot for saying this. I'll get booted off the page. I was never a big fan of his films. I like Blue Hawaii. I think it's
Brilliant.
probably
I
my
love
favorite,
that.
but I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not as up on the films as I am on the music. I could tell you lots about his songs. I could tell you the songs from the films, but I haven't watched many of his films.
All right.
And what a lot of people don't realize about Elvis as well is he didn't like a lot of his films. He wanted to be
Oh
an
no.
actor,
Yeah.
but he hated a lot of the roles he was getting because he was getting cast as like a singing boxer or a singing race car driver and stuff like that. And he thought a lot of it was pretty ridiculous. So I'm not as up on the films as I should be, but Blue Hawaii probably.
Right. Okay.
Um,
And what's your highest? What's the gig? What's the most attendance at a gig?
for me,
Yeah.
oh God, trying to think, what can I claim here if I've ever done? I think that I've done some pretty big holiday parks up here. That I've got some quite big auditorium rooms in them. I've never, I've done stadium gigs or anything like that. I know the level that I operate at, but I've worked some pretty big crowds at some private functions. But I
All
try
right.
and give, as you've touched on yourself, I try and give the same show and the same effort, whether it's 50 people or 500 people.
Mm. I bet it's most embarrassing when you're doing Elvis thing and all of a sudden, you're on stage in a caravan park, because you've got all the families coming and everything, and you've got 3 or 4 people there. That must get a bit, you know,
If the crowds are small,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it can be tough, Steve. I won't lie. I'm quite honest about it. I've played many, or certainly, several shows to single figures, as happens sometimes in these places. But like I say, you're a professional. You're up on stage, and once the lights turn on, you give you try and give the same show, whether it's 5 or 500.
I suppose you get
Because
paid
if
at the end
those
of the
if
night
those
anyway. Yeah.
you do get paid at the end of the night. And if these people are here, the 5 people that have turned up, to use the example that you're given, I'm not saying they've ever been that low, but we'll go with that number. The 5 people that have turned up, they're still there wanting to be entertained. You're still a part of their holiday.
Yeah.
You send them home wanting to talk about the singer that they saw on a Friday night, and then if they can do that, that's job done.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the most embarrassing moment on stage then?
That's a good question, Steve.
I ask,
I
I ask everybody this.
Do you ask everybody that? Do you? I
Yeah.
think the best one then for me. Thankfully, I don't think I gave it away, but in my own head, the most embarrassing one was I remember being on in a pub one night when the elastic went in the boxers that I was wearing. Right, so you couldn't see it because thankfully I had my trousers were nice and tightly um, belted up, so it wasn't like my trousers were around my ankles, but my boxers were. So I'm trying to move about like with my trousers are up, and all of a sudden I'm shuffling about, and people are wondering why I'm moving like that, and it's because the boxers that I had on, the elastic had gone in them, and they were around my ankles. So the most embarrassing thing about it was I had to go to the toilet during my break, take them off, and do the second set commando. So the belt was doubly tightened for that one.
I bet you're glad that there was no grannies around, kind of like trying to make the trousers off.
No, God, no, no. That's yeah. Well, I won't say it's never happened, but it didn't happen that night. Thank goodness.
All right. Okay. So you actually had it happen to you, have you?
I've never had anybody try and rip my trousers off at a gig, Steve. If that's the answer, if that's the question that you're asking, no. But you do get old ladies that are enthusiastic about the show that you do, and that's a good thing. That means you're doing your job if they do that.
What, they chuck their knickers at you, do they?
I don't mind that, Steve, as long as they're clean ones.
Look, listen. I'm going to ask you some questions now. You don't have to answer me if you don't want to, but
Go for it.
a lot of people, you probably know about me, right? So I'm just going to tell you on the Elvis tributes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got some people who are, what can I say, who are doing a really good job.
Hmm.
Yep, but there's other people who think they're really, really Elvis, really do. They think they are Elvis, but they're not, and they do a
Hmm.
really crap job. Do you agree?
I wouldn't use those words, Steve, to be honest. What I would say, I've watched that, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. What I would say is that, given that that page was set up as a means of entertainment, I've got the utmost respect for anybody that gives their time to go on there. I think there's always going to be anytime you get that many different acts on the same page, everybody's always going to have their favourites. I've said to you before, there's 31,000 followers on the page, mate. You know, there's not every one of them like me. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get my share of negativity on there, which, as I've already said, it's fine. People are entitled
Mm.
to their opinion. It's not for me to. It is your prerogative as a viewer to have an opinion on every single act that you watch, right? And we, as an entertainer, I accept that every time you put yourself on stage, you open yourself up to people's opinion. And if the opinion is that they don't like you, that's fair enough. But for me, for that page, I'm not going to put the boot into anybody that's given up their time to go on there. Anytime you get that many acts, there's always going to be a spectrum of ability. Not everybody's going to be brilliant.
Mm.
But if we bear in mind that the page was set up not for professional singers, but as a means of entertaining Elvis fans, then I
Mm.
think that I would rather tip my hat to anybody who has the guts to stand in front of a camera.
Yeah, I do understand that. I
Hmm.
wasn't doing it trying to say it negative. I was trying
Hmm.
to explain that there's a lot of people out there who thinks they really, really are.
Oh, okay, right. So yeah, so the people then that actually you think that come across as if they believe that they're Elvis.
Well, they do, yes, some of them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so then what I would say on that is that everybody approaches an Elvis tribute differently, right? I don't. Some put a wig on, some put a jumpsuit on, some put a wig and a jumpsuit on, and some like me just kind of try and sing the songs. All I try to do as a tribute to Elvis is to deliver the songs in a way that, you know, I don't even sound particularly like Elvis on most songs, I don't think, but I try and deliver the songs in a way that's authentic, that doesn't come across as fake, and that people can relate to. That's my take on it.
Yeah,
The best I can sum it up for you, Steve, is somebody once said to me, if you're presenting a tribute to anybody, whether it's Elvis or Roy Orbison or anyone, if what you're doing makes the person think, makes your viewers or your listeners think of the person that you're paying a tribute to, then you're doing a good job. So if people listen to what I'm doing and it evokes some kind of memory of Elvis, then that's job done.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
for me
I totally agree. I totally agree.
for me
I
it's not.
do.
I don't think about getting into a character. You won't hear me doing any hashed up accents in the middle or things like that. But that's not to say that I don't think that's how it should be done. Certain people it works for, certain people it doesn't. It doesn't work for me, but it does for some others. But I
Yeah, yeah.
understand. I get the point that you're making about the people that really try and get into character, and it doesn't always come across on camera as I think as it should.
No, okay. Sorry about that, but I had to bring it up. I always do
No,
it.
don't be sorry. It's an interesting opinion. It's a debate I've had with many people. You don't have to be sorry at all, Steve. It's your show.
All right, yeah, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we all have got opinions. But
Sure.
you know, I was just saying about there are fake people, on there. But anyway, there you go. But so what I'm trying to say at this moment in time, so we've got the COVID. The
Yeah.
COVID's here. You're on Facebook giving a good, really good, you're doing a really good job, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And loads of other people are doing that.
Hmm.
The trouble is, I heard a little rumor today about it might be going down till February, right? It's not going to stop, right? This is rumors. Are you going
COVID's
to
not going to stop.
not till February?
Okay.
Are you going to cope?
Steve, what can you do, man? It's tough. It's really tough, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. We'll keep I'll keep on the page. I'll finish the CD. Man, if I'm locked down for enough time, I might do another CD. You have to do what when things are hard like this, you look after your friends and your family, and you busy yourself, I think, as much as you can with things that you enjoy, and things that mean something to you. And to me, at the moment, that's music, and it's my friends and family, right?
Mm,
So you make sure your family's okay. You and then I do as much. That's why I'm on the page as often as I am, because if there's an hour or two sitting spare on the page, and I would just be sitting in the house, why not go on?
mm.
You know, why not go on and do it? So
Good,
yeah,
good.
if it runs into next March, it'll be hard. The longer it goes, the harder it's going to get. Of course it
Yeah,
is. But that's
yeah.
why we need outlets like music and things like that to keep people going. As you've already quite rightly said, music will become more important and not less important as this thing goes on. And maybe it wouldn't do governments north and south of the border any harm to kind of acknowledge that as well, because we seem to have been forgotten about a little bit.
Right. Okay. Said about that. You ended on that. Can we just wind the clock back a bit about
Yeah,
when you were studying doing politics?
yeah.
Right. What was the
Yep.
reason behind that? So.
It's just been something that's always interested me, Steve, and it still does. And it doesn't. I think there seems to be this thing that if you study politics, it means you want to get into politics. That was never why I wanted to do it. But I'm a bit of a geek at heart, so I'm fascinated by things like electoral systems, by voting behaviour. So why certain demographics, vote, why certain age groups and people vote the way they do, why certain geographical areas vote the way they do. These type of things interest me. That's what I went into politics to learn about.
So.
And
So.
I'm one of these guys that sits up till 3 o'clock. I was up till all hours the other day watching the American election come in. I
Do you
sit
think
up and
that's
watch
rigged?
all the. I think it's rigged.
Yeah. Do you think that's rigged?
Steve, I love it on here, man. You're asking all the hard questions. This is brilliant.
Oh,
No, it's
come
not
on,
rigged.
come on.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm praising you for asking the right questions. No, there's no way it's rigged.
No.
Do you think it's rigged?
No, not at all, not at all.
No.
I don't. I think. I've been following it too, and I want the right person to win, right?
I don't particularly want to get into who's the right or the wrong person, because I also think as an entertainer, it's not for me to be overly political. But
no.
your question was quite, and it was a great question. Do I think the election's been rigged? My answer is absolutely not. I don't think it's been rigged.
No. Okay. Thank you. Right. Yeah. Look, you're doing politics. So
Yeah.
if you were studying politics, were you actually going to go down to the root to say, right, I want to be an MP, I want to help people, or was it just because politics was an interest that you had, and you just told me that anyway?
Yeah, it was more about the fact that I was interested in the workings behind politics and things like that. I mean, obviously, I do like to help people in the local community, but there's other ways other than politics to do that. Like I say, I'm involved in sports coaching. I work with kids in that capacity and have done for years. So politics in and of itself, getting involved in it, is not something that's on my agenda at the moment, but I'm still fascinated by the ins and outs of it, how it works, as I say, why we vote the way we do. These things interest me.
Right.
Because I'm just that excited.
So you were up the other night, you just told me just now, you were up partly early hours in the morning watching the, sorry, because we've got it on telly here at the moment, watching this. Now, and people are saying, oh yeah, it's all rigged and all that lot, and everything's going on, and we've got people watching out, and you've got Mr. What's his name, kind of like saying, it is rigged. I'm going to take it to the courts and everything. What do you think,
Steve? It is what it is. It's America's election. It looks to me, as a bystander, as somebody watching on from the outside, and obviously you only see what the media portrays, it looks to me like one of the most transparent elections I've seen in a long time. But you never know. But I'll say again, I don't think it's been rigged. It looks to me as if it's been a fair election.
Yeah, totally agree. So, let's go to the questions before we finish. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's cool. So being able to do more things is good. Hang on for a second. Just going down the list. Your daughter is so good. Sorry, I'm just going through them again.
That's all right.
Good thing you're blessed. We're all comfortable. Hang on for a second. There's loads here. Your daughter's a good singer. So your daughter's a good.
See, my daughter's more popular than me, Steve. I told you that. She's got an online fan club.
Is she?
Yeah, oh, they all love her on the page, man. She's good. She's 5 years old. She goes dancing and singing, and she's great. She's gonna be good.
Great, great. Well done. So it's a family thing then.
It is for her. She just does it because she enjoys it, and I hope she enjoys it for a long time to come. But she's not shy.
Is she better than you?
She will certainly be better than me one day. She's certainly more confident than me, and she's certainly got more rhythm than me. She's got everything she needs to be better than me one day, which is the way it should be.
Yeah. Laugh it out. So yeah. Good answer. So hi Richie. Here we go. Hello gentlemen. Here we go. Let's get all this up. First time watcher here. Here we go. So,
Oh, you're kind, Haley. She's very kind.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, yeah. Please come back and sing. Well, we try to. We try to get all the ETAs to kind of like. We usually get to know them first, do an interview, then we get them back. But there's about two who don't usually come back because sometimes I ask them different questions and stuff, and sometimes it puts them off. So
you're asking the hard-hitting questions, Steve. You're the Jeremy Paxman of the podcast world, mate.
No, Piers Morgan, mate. Piers Morgan. I'm learning.
Piers Morgan. Good stuff.
Listen, can you sing a song for us? Sing us without that. Can you sing us a song?
No. Absolutely no. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to do it today, Steve. And to be fair, I did ask you about that, and you did tell me I wouldn't have to do it. So I've done a show online already today. My voice was tired then; it's tired now. If you want me to come back another time and sing for you, I'll sing for you. No worries. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it today. I'm sorry.
Right. No, this is what I'm getting here. The fan club here are asking me. No, what it is, he's done some shows today, and his voice is not very good. So hopefully, I'll get my wife onto it in a minute, and hopefully, so will say yes. I will definitely come back. I hope I haven't put him off.
I'll come back. No worries. I'd be
Okay.
my pleasure to come back, Steve. And if people want to hear me sing, they can drop me a message to my Facebook music page, which is Saul Christie Music. I'm happy. I'll send them I'll record them a personal song, mate, if that's what they want. I've got no.
Oh, there you go. There you go. He's really. I tell you what, this bloke is really genuine. Really genuine.
I'm genuine. I'm genuinely. I'm feeling it a little bit today in my throat, which was why I asked you before if you needed me to do it. But I've no qualms about doing individual requests for people. We can do it on a video call, but just not right now. But I'm happy if people want to hear me sing. If they want to request a particular song, mate, that's not a problem. That's why I'm here. There's loads of different ways they can get a hold of me. I'm on Saul Christie Music or Saul Christie. I don't mind a message to my personal page either if they want to do that. It's not a problem.
So what Saul would do is he will send me a link. I will put it on my radio station. I will.
Yep.
I will also put it on my Crossroads page, and we've got all the links on there.
Mm-hmm.
And we will kind of and also we'll set up a group on. No, I've got a group page already I've got Saul on my group page already, so it's not a problem. So if you want to know more about Saul, what I'll do in a minute when I finish, I will put all the links up and you can follow him. Send him messages, and also when he goes live again, and if it's any other ETAs out there are live, don't bother. Go to Saul because he's a really good singer. Okay.
Thanks, Steve. There's loads of good ETAs on the page, but I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. It's really kind.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear what I said. But
no, I didn't hear it. No.
Go to Saul, and he's a really good singer. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Steve. Can I just give the kind of the main page there a quick plug? If anybody's looking to watch these guys, these ETAs, the best place to see them is the Elvis Tribute Artists Facebook page. It's been built up from the ground up to now 33,000 followers, run by a great guy who's puts a power of work into the page. So if you want to see me sing at any point during lockdown, That's where you're going to see me most often. The Elvis Tribute Artist page on Facebook.
And it's a really good page too. It's really good.
It's a cracking page, mate. You know it yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's a really good page. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me on, Steve. Appreciate it. I'll speak to you again.
Anytime. Bye-bye.
Cheers, bud.
Bye. There you go. That was so crispy. Oh, I hope I haven't put him off. I hope I haven't put him off. Because I want to come back and sing. I really do. Anyway, guys, I will be back about, what was it? I think it's 9 o'clock with the next one. And that will be with Brian Treby. Yeah, Brian Treby. And that will be at 9 o'clock. So tune in. And until then, bye. Take care. Look after yourself. Okay. And also follow me. Come on my radio site. Because I play a lot of 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s music and stuff. Take care. Good night. God bless. See you at 9 o'clock.